Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Mindset and Business Dojo Show. My name is John, and I am your mindset business coach. Today, we're focusing on a super important topic, and as it says in the subheading, this will be the most important video that you watch or you scroll through on social media today. And the reason that is it's the number one driver for success in any arena of life. Now you'll probably try and come at me with other things that are more important, like discipline, like willpower. But all of those things are ineffective if this key thing isn't in place. And it's something that most business owners lack, and it's down to their routine. It's down to how they've shaped their week, shaped their life, and built everything around their business. And we're going to try and change that through this live stream today. So don't forget, if you're watching on Facebook, I would appreciate if you can share this out. If you're watching on YouTube, hit like and subscribe, as we will be going live every single day. But today's topic is self-regulation, and is why it's the key to consistency. And as you all know, in life, in business, in relationships, in health, consistency is king. There's no one workout that's going to change how you look and feel. There's no one conversation that you have with your spouse that suddenly changes everything and fixes your marriage. There's no one thing you're going to do in your business that's going to turn your business from where it is now to where you want it to be. But it's the combination and the compound effect of doing the right things consistently over time. But what happens and stops most people, especially business owners, from being consistent is their emotions. You have to be able to train your mind to be stronger than your emotions. That has been the number one key metric of success for all of the clients that I've helped. Whether that they're a business owner, whether they're entrepreneurs, whether they're founders, whether they're C-suite leaders, is their ability to manage their own emotions. I can't underestimate how important it is, because you're going to face higher level challenges than most other people can handle. Why? Because you choose to play the game of business. You choose to go from safety to a world where uncertainty is at play. Business is uncertainty. You might have success today, but you're not guaranteed that success is there tomorrow. And it's why most of us struggle with the internal battle of, when we do get a win, we still feel that uncertainty. We still can't celebrate it because we're trapped in a cycle of almost survival and uncertainty about what's coming around the corner. We have to learn to manage our own emotions. We have to learn to self-regulate. And the way you do this isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'm never the type of coach who says, do this, wake at 4 a.m., go for a run first thing in the morning, do the ice bath. Why? Because it's different for everybody. Right now, I'm in a phase of life where we have our 7-month-old child, which you'll probably hear screaming in the background as I'm doing this video. I have to be there to help him and feed him through the night. So I'm not waking at 4 a.m. I'm not waking at 5 a.m. And in fact, I've never been a person who has a really solid morning routine. And I'm okay with that because everyone is different. For me, it's a decision. I don't need to do 5 different things to put me in the right state. It's a decision that I make. And I want you to start to make better decisions by prioritizing things that help you self-regulate. For me, that is spending time with my family. For me, number 1 or number 2 is the gym, right? It anchors everything I do. I never lose emotional control when I'm consistently working out. Another thing that really helps me is journaling. It's how I do a lot of my mindset work. It's how I deconstruct a lot of my patterns. It's how I bring a lot of the unconscious stuff to the surface. It's how I create a different perspective around the uncertainty of the future in both my business and my life. So these are just some examples. There's 100 different ways to skin the cat. But what you do is going to be unique to you, but what's most important is you choose it and you do it consistently. If music puts you in a good state, create playlists that help you self-regulate. If it's exercise, if it's running, if it's yoga, do that. Find something, plan your week around it, make sure it's a priority and it's a standard. It's not something you do if A and B and C get done. This is a priority, because if you're not at your best, then you can't be in the position to make high-level decisions. How can you lead a team effectively if you can't even lead yourself? If you can't manage your own emotions, if you're always reacting to situations instead of being able to step back, think about it logically. And for most people, the problem is their nervous system is so hijacked that they can't even step back and see the bigger picture. They're just constantly in this part of the brain, the amygdala, which it gets hijacked, and you're basically acting out of emotion, not being able to think logically. You have to be able to calm that part of the nervous system down. You have to be able to deregulate, and you have to then be able to create practices that help you do this sustainably over time. You will hear me talk a lot about mindset. You will hear me talk a lot about emotional intelligence. You will hear me talk a lot about self-regulation, because this is the key to high performance. It's not the stuff that these gurus are trying to sell you. It's not the fancy funnel. It's not the marketing plan that's going to give you a gazillion leads. None of that will matter unless you can manage yourself and implement the stuff that these people share with you on a consistent basis. It's rarely the gym plan that's the problem. It's mostly you and your inability to manage your emotions. It's rarely the diet that's the issue. It's your inability to choose a diet and stick with it consistently, because you can't manage your emotions and you self-soothe with things that are dysfunctional and not things that are actually helpful. There's two types of dopamine, right? There's the dopamine that helps and the dopamine that hinders. Most of you are stuck in cycles of dopamine hits that are actually hindering your growth instead of doing things that actually help you. So I want you to reflect on this video that I've just created, or this show, and I want you to ask yourself, what are 2 to 3 things I can do on a weekly basis, consistently? Don't say you're going to work out twice a day if you're not going to be able to do that consistently over time. Choose once, 30 minutes, right? Make it easy for yourself. If you can only do it 3 days a week, choose that. We always try to aim too high when we're trying to create new habits, and that's why we fall back into the same old patterns. If you're trying to journal, start off simple. Start 5 minutes at the end of your day, going over your wins, your lessons, and your key reflections for the day. Break it down into the smallest step, but make sure you are planning your week around it. And I can't underestimate that, because it's the most important factor. If you leave it to last, you're telling your brain that this isn't a priority. I'm not a priority. But you have to be the priority if you want to win long-term in a sustainable fashion. So don't forget to share this out and comment. I'd love to know, what are you doing right now to help you self-regulate? All right, so until next time, be well, and as always, ascend higher.